Williams, Lamb, Bowman, Baker, Lynch, Escudero, Thibodeau, Cox, Smith, Epperson.
Here.
Invitation will be by Mr. Dominic and led by Mr. Williams. Rise, please. Bow our head. Dear Lord, I ask and pray and thank you for allowing us to be here today. Forgive us our many sins. Watch over, protect us. Be with our parish employees, our administration, those that work for our parish, and especially I pray for our citizens and our residents of Caddo Parish, and ask and pray that you'll put your hand of protection upon us, your commissioners, as we go forward with your business today. In your precious holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Reverend Dominic, place the flag and run its opposite after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good to see you here, man. Good to see you. Thanks for coming by.
Oh, man, look to me.
Do you have any agenda additions?
So I can look at them.
Citizens' comments. Citizens who wish to address the commission must fill out a comment card and forward to the president or the clerk of the commission. Comments by any citizen will be limited to 3 minutes. I have one card, Don from the jury.
Mr. President, Commissioners, I just want to put a name to a face. I'm Donald Ray Major. I think you have my resume. I've talked to some of you on the phone and all. And I'm putting in for the constable's job in Ward 5. If y'all have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them if I can.
Thank you very much. All right. Ken, sorry, Mr. Major, Don. That's Ken up here.
Okay. All right. Mr. Major, you retired from the Sheriff Department, right?
That's correct, sir.
Okay. Are you familiar with the duties and responsibilities of the constable?
Oh, yes, sir.
Are you familiar that I think about 2 or 3 years ago we had some legislation passed through the state whereas part of the constable's added responsibility would be to enforce some property standards?
That's correct.
Okay, you familiar with those? Have you seen those? Okay, you don't have any problem with it being your neighbor and they've been had a flower pot sitting out there made like an outhouse for 10 years and it's against the property standards that you go over and tell them that they're violating the law?
The best way I can put that, Mr. Epperson, I could call my mother up here and she knows I'd write her a ticket if she was speaking.
Ooh! Dang! I don't know if we want to.
Escudero?
I don't need Don up here for that. I just want to say I've known him 26 years, and he might be questionable as a human being, but he's top of he make a good JP.
I know he did just say that.
You got to know or whatever.
He can do all that.
All right, visitors.
Okay.
Do yours now.
Yes, sir. President Thibodeau, Commissioners, good afternoon. We have a special guest today. We have in our presence Dr. Ricky Keys, and he's going to be making a presentation before us today about a weight loss challenge. And I'd like for him to come forward this time and give us his presentation. You should have a hard copy at the station already. Dr. Keys, before you get started, I need to let you know that
Be careful.
time limit 10 to 15 minutes. Anything beyond that is a trap door. You stand right there on it, and you may disappear, okay?
Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
My name is Dr. Ricky Keys. About 5 years ago, my family and I were blessed to, we had a major challenge, and the challenge was Hurricane Katrina. We were blessed to be given an opportunity to move here. My wife is actually from Keithville, Louisiana, so
I don't know whose district that is. Okay. You may know the Gatlins on Mansfield Road. That's that's my wife's family. So we were blessed about 5 years or so ago after Hurricane Katrina to move to Shreveport, and we've loved it ever since. Not looking forward to moving anytime soon. Felt that there was a need for us to be, much more active than what we've done in the past. So we decided to do a program that we feel is critically important. I've provided for you a presentation. It is a program that we've been doing some research on for the last 15 years. For the last 15 years, we've been looking at the rate of obesity in our country, specifically focusing on Louisiana. Our objective is not for aesthetic purposes. We're not trying to get people to look a certain way, though we believe that if you look the better, you'll feel better. Our objective is to address obesity from a medical standpoint. I don't feel that I need to go through the presentations. Each of the slides, you'll see that they're basically self-explanatory. They're maps showing the rate of obesity from a period of time from 1990 until 2008. So it just shows the increasing rate of obesity over that period of time. One of the major problems that we have is that there are desperate issues that are affected by obesity. The most important of which is diabetes.
Amen.
Type 2 diabetes is a killer, and not only is it a killer, but it's an inhibitor. Not only does it affect your ability to have a decent quality of life, but it significantly affects almost every organ in your body. So, yes, I'm sorry. Why are you eating? I'm sorry. Now, don't take this as my time. I don't want the trapdoor to fall on me. At any rate, our objective is to address this situation, not by doing a heavy-handed approach. I respect Mayor Bloomberg in his approach, but I don't think that it's the appropriate approach, where he's trying to limit the number of drinks to 16 ounces in anything that has that's a sugary drink over 16 ounces. He's trying to limit that. I don't believe that that's the approach to go. I believe that we need to encircle people in the resources that they need to address their conditions. And I believe that there are 4 specific resources that if we, the citizens, provided or made available, we can significantly reduce the rate of obesity in our country, specifically in this parish. That is a doctor, having a medical doctor who is playing a significant role in addressing obesity, having supplement providers, having a fitness or level of activity, and partnering with restaurants. So our objective, through all of these slides, is to develop a weight loss challenge in the city, in the parish of Caddo. The objective of which is to lose 1 million pounds. Caddo Parish is approximately 250,000 people. So on average, that's about 4 pounds per person. Obviously, some people need to lose a little bit more than 4 pounds. Some people need to lose no pounds at all. Some people need to gain weight, actually. So on average, our objective is to help to reduce the rate of the weight in this parish by 1 million pounds over 1 year. Our objective is to go throughout the city, throughout the parish, and to partner with organizations, faith-based organizations, other municipalities, other governmental agencies, to achieve that objective. And again, I want to make sure that this is abundantly clear. This is not for aesthetic purposes. We feel that it's important that people lose weight to look good, but we feel that it's more important for people to lose weight to feel good and to be healthy. So with that, I think that's basically the presentation. Any questions?
Ms. Williams?
I just want to, first of all, thank you for being in Caddo Parish. Thank you for being concerned about one of the national health problems in America, especially with our young people. They seem to like fast food, pizzas and hot wings, and hot dogs. Don't like corn and spinach when I was growing up, but I didn't know my mother was trying to get me to be healthy. In light of the National Health Care Bill being passed,
due to healthcare costs because of people uncovered. Then diabetes, not only diabetes but stroke and other heart disease, but people having an opportunity to have quality health care, that would help reduce some of the costs that we've been spending in health care. And then if we can get those waiver programs to reduce weight in our nation, that would give a healthy community as well. I can't say enough that we see just here in Caddo Parish, the healthcare costs and the poor eating habits that our young people have, especially our young people. So, Doc, you couldn't have been more in time to provide a parish-wide healthcare program. I know I live in District 3, and I live in an urban area. We need some help on how to take good food in. So whatever you can do to partner with my district and others as well, faith-based and a community-based organization, please let me know. I would love to work with you.
I really appreciate that.
We look
forward to working with you.
I'd love to work with you and help save lives.
Absolutely.
Being healthy does save life.
Absolutely.
And we can do through healthcare costs and save some money. And people can live a better quality of life. So.
Well, and on that note, and I appreciate your comments, one of the most important things I believe is that we do this type of thing, this type of initiative in businesses or with businesses. We believe that by doing something to this effect, meaning that we have a challenge that results in people losing weight, we can actually help reduce the healthcare costs, specifically the insurance costs associated with employees. So one of the things that we're going to look at doing with the parish is working specifically with the parish, identifying specific goals and objectives, the hope of which is to significantly reduce the weight and as a result have a significant reduction in the healthcare costs. Because if you go to an insurance company and you say you have a preventive program, a disease management program, a weight loss program that's specifically targeted towards your employees, and you show some results for a year, you could actually go to that insurance company the next year and say, these are the outcomes that we've achieved. Absenteeism is down, the productivity is up, the number of employees who are sick has gone down dramatically. As a result, we'd like to renegotiate our premiums so that we can have a reduction in the premium. So this is something that is a community-based oriented initiative, but it is specifically a disease management program that we're going to do not only with the faith-based and the community-based organizations, but we're going to go to the private sector and partner with them as well.
Good, thank you. Coming from a healthcare industry, I used to own a physical therapy company, and one of the things we had was one of the programs you talked about, and it did help. So I look forward to maybe teaming up with you working.
Look forward to it too as well.
Dr. Keys, thank you so much for coming down. I had a recent personal experience, I guess. Let me say I got the first 50 pounds. Lord knows I need to lose some weight. Recently, I had to be rescued through a window of a vehicle. Okay? Two things I was worried about. The first thing I was worried about was making sure my wig didn't come off. That was the first thing. And the second was whether I could actually get through the window.
My Lord, I don't know if I want to tell you. Okay. The report is here.
No, it's okay. It's okay. So when the guy got around there, the first thing I said to him was, "Do you know how much I weigh?" We both weren't going to end up in the water. But thankfully he had me. He had me. But certainly I think it's a good time for you to be talking about what you're talking about. We are members of the National Association of Counties, which is a membership organization for counties, parishes, and boroughs. And there's been an increased focus on this area of health initiatives, particularly in the last few years. NACO has really been focused on healthy counties and creating a committee to deal with health initiatives, because they're doing it in other major cities all across the country, these weight loss challenges. Some of it usually start with the county itself, or the parish itself, internally, and then move that out to the community, so they, the £1 million, I think, Dr., is his name Ian Smith?
Yeah.
That had the million, something similar to that.
Exactly.
Weight loss challenge, I think State Farm was sponsoring that. So I guess my question is, what is it that you exactly want us to do, parish,
Well,
in regards to this?
Well, I appreciate your question. Let me address the increased level of interest in obesity. There are a number of economists that say that by 2020 to 2025, that obesity itself will shave 2 percentage points off of our GDP. And 2 percentage points is a whole lot of money. That's in the billions and billions of dollars. And the effect is going to be absolutely amazing and enormous. So if we don't address this issue directly, head on, immediately, not only is it going to have an impact on us personally, but it's going to have an impact on our economy going forward. So absolutely, this is something that we desperately need to do. What I'm hoping that the parish would do is unanimously pass a resolution saying that this is a program that we'd like to do. We'd like to start it in September, and then in the latter part of, or the beginning of September of next year, we'd like to lose £1 million by that period of time. The other thing is, on a parish level, we'd like to partner with the administrator to actually provide this service specifically for the parish employees. My costs are minimal. My costs are the costs that you incur to provide the packages for your employees. This is something that I'm passionate about. I have a job that I do on a daily basis, but this is my passion. This is something that I feel desperately needs to take place. So, again, there are two things. One, a resolution just saying that this is a program that we'd like to do. The second thing is allowing me to get with the administrator to actually do this for the parish employees, specifically identifying goals and objectives and having measurable outcomes that we could present to your insurer next year to show that we've done a pretty decent job at addressing this issue, and as a result, significantly reducing your insurance costs.
Right, thank you.
Mr. Rhodes?
Dr. Keys, my question is this. In perusing your slides, Colorado stands out as the state with perhaps the least obesity problems in the country. And my question is, do you have any idea as to how that, is any of that attributable to any governmental policies or governmental amenities or something like that we could take as instructive in what we ought to be doing here in Louisiana?
Well, I'm glad you pointed out Colorado, because I have a very good friend who was actually the president pro tem of the Senate in Colorado, and they have no special programs, nothing, no governmental initiatives. It's just that Colorado's accustomed to outdoor living. They're accustomed to skiing, and they're outdoors during the winter time, skiing, and during the summertime because it's not so hot. So there's a significantly greater chance that people are more active, and they have a better lifestyle in terms of their eating habits as well. So there's nothing really that you could pinpoint to attribute to why their obesity rate is lower, and as a result, if you can see it, their rate of diabetes is significantly lower. Heart disease, as Commissioner Williams said, heart disease, hypertension, all of the conditions that are directly related to obesity, there really is no direct correlation between what they're doing on the government side and what their outcomes. But I believe that we need to do something. We can't just sit idly by and allow this stuff to continue to happen. But that's a very good observation. I appreciate that.
Okay, I think I'm the last one. Appreciate you coming.
Thank you.
And I will give you my 4 pounds, but I'm gonna give it to Michael Williams. That way we'll start, he said everybody had to lose 4 pounds. That's what he said.
Probably get it out my head, man.
That'll keep the gas, even here.
I'll get mine yesterday.
I just want to let people know that I didn't know you when you had hair coming from New Orleans. And I thought, but most of all, you feel on a real, what I think is certainly a very important topic. And you can look around anywhere you want to look, and you'll see that it's a concern.
In here?
Anywhere. Definitely, no, I understand that, but it's help. It's help, and it's, I'm glad to see we kind of have somebody leading the charge here, and I hope that we can be successful, because I think with successful programs, will other people want to become involved.
I agree.
And we appreciate you for coming, and I assume you're going to get with Woody, and then either you and Woody, I guess, will come back to us with whatever it is you have in mind and how you'd like to see us participate.
Right. I'd be more than happy to do that. I want to come back and update you on a quarterly basis, if that's okay, to show you the impact. It's not going to be as long as it is now. It's just probably be a snippet, a short period of time, just showing you the number of people that we've gotten enrolled, the number of organizations. I believe that this has to be a public-private partnership. It cannot be the government taking the lion's share, or even the majority share of the responsibility of doing this. This is something that we have to work on as a community.
And finally, I know this will upset some of you, but he lives in District 9, so
Boom, man.
Love District 9.
Pandora wants to give you her card. Yeah, I'm giving you my card.
If any of you would like to give me I'd be more than happy to take it.
Thank you, Dr. Keys, I appreciate you.
It's rolling up on me.
All right, now.
All right, we have,
Yes, one other thing.
one more.
One other thing. Mr. Thibodeau?
Thank you.
You got one last item?
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. A couple of months ago,
Go see Yellow. You got the real doctor to look at it. Ain't that sharp? What you running for, Doc?
Down, but
Running for the board.
okay. Mr. Thibodeau, a couple of months ago, Commissioner Lynch brought to the administration an initiative from NACO called the County Green Purchasing Intern Program. In this program, NACO is partnered with Mobilize Green, a national nonprofit that recruits, trains, and places diverse students into sustainability internships. And their goal was to place 30 interns in American counties. Interns will be trained by NACO staff. And at this time, I'd like to introduce our intern. Mr. Johnson, would you come forward? And as he comes forward, I'll give a little information about Mr. Johnson. Isaac Johnson is his name. He's a native of Shreveport, where he attended Green Oaks High School. He now attends Southern University in Shreveport, where he is pursuing a double major in business management and accounting. He is a proud veteran that served the United States Army and Air Force for a combined total of 6 years of military service. He will be spending the summer with the Caddo Parish as a Greene County purchasing intern, implementing NACO's program, Mobilize Green, as the internship will be from June 25th to August 17th. And we are delighted to have Mr. Isaac Johnson on our team this summer and helping us with our green initiatives. So I'd like to introduce him to you all.
Congratulations.
Do you have anything you want to say? Did you want to say anything?
I just wanted to say I'm thankful for this opportunity to actually work with the parish. I love my community, and I'm always striving to help others and learn how to save. So, and being business management and administration and accounting is a big thing for me. So planning and learning how to do things more cost efficient is a great thing.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. I appreciate you, sir.
Mr. Jones, you the kid that had Mr. Jones right there?
Mr. Thibodeau, that concludes my report for the day, sir.
All right, we have any communiques or committee reports? Williams?
Chairman, I just want
I
to...
had this lunch on here for you.
On Saturday, the residents of Westwood neighborhood is planning their community day, and Westwood neighborhood is area where I call it the old Denny's off of Monk House. The neighborhood that sits back there is Westwood Park. On Saturday, July the 7th, 2012, between 9 and noon. I think it's being coordinated by the city and the city's community liaison office, but I would also like to have Parish presence there at that event. And I believe I've requested animal control and some other, I think in a couple of other departments to prepare. Okay, to prepare, help prepare for that, so that we can, show that that the parish is indeed concerned about all of our communities. I know there are a lot of dogs back in there because I walk that area, and so we definitely want to make sure we have animal control there. I appreciate it. And also I want to thank Mr. Wilson and Valerie as well for working with NACO on getting an intern. A few years ago we created a Green Economy Task Force, which is, it's still, I guess, loosely meeting and talking, and we're communicating mostly by email and telephone right now. But certainly this gave us an opportunity to help home grow some talent, particularly in the area of sustainability. And just as we partnered with NACO on the dental discount program, on the prescription drug program, Veteran Cemetery, I mean, we could go on and on. They've always been positive, and we've always had positive outcomes on those. So I look forward to this as well, generating some positive response and helping the parish and our community look more closely at sustainability. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Williams.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to say happy Declaration of Independence Day to everyone. On Saturday, I just want to thank everyone, thanking God for a blessed, beautiful day to be able to walk. It was a beautiful experience to seeing the people at the grassroots level, who most of the problem manifests most, crime and senseless killing, crimes of passion, and domestic violence. I'd like to thank the Neighborhood Association Stonehill Action Group, Mr. Joe Will, who led the effort, and the dynamic Ms. Bessie Smith and Mr. Howard. Also, City Councilman Evers came out and spoke in the city of Shreveport and Spar, and members of the clergy showed up in record numbers, and my colleagues who too showed up was Ms. Stephanie Lynn. She was doing her exercise early for losing weight, and Commissioner Everson had to leave, but he was there showing his support. I want to thank both of them for the anti-violence march. And first of all, there was a prayer vigil. We prayed. And thank Mr. Cox, administrator from the juvenile court. He came and spoke and said some kind words about the programs they have over there. We had about 100 plus people came out. Even people who was walking even joined in the walk. I also like to thank Mr. Kennedy, Red Ball, who was one of our sponsors, who came out, who supported us, and Southern Soul, the restaurant, the Southern Soul Cafe, who came out and supported and helped bought the T-shirts for the Operation Cease the Violence, Break the Silence, Save a Life. And the only way we're going to do that, and I'd like to commend Commissioner Bowman and City Councilman Sam Jenkins for in their district in Queensboro, making the people aware of crime and taking a value role and a team effort to working together with those people. I want to commend you, Ms. Bowman, on the work that you're doing in your district. We're all in this thing together as a city and as a parish. We have to work together to save and improve the quality of life. The blood's been shed on our street, and like I said earlier, this is not Pakistan or Afghanistan. This is the United States of America. And our American dream shouldn't be on hold. We should continue to work to push the American dream for life and liberty, a good job, go to school and education, go to church on Sundays. That's what this American dream is all about. And some people dream of squandering every day. They're being shot right in our streets, killed right in our backyards. These are our children. These are our neighbors. And it's only going to take leadership, not followership, not political hypocrites, not posturing for the camera, not huffing and puffing. The time for us is get back in the streets and try to save our community, most of all, save all of our children. Doesn't matter if you're black, white, young and old, rich or poor, you live in South Shreveport or East Shreveport. Crime doesn't respect no one. So it may be in my backyard today, but it may very well be in yours tomorrow. So I hope that we don't think it's just limited to the urban areas, but also in the suburban and the rural areas as well, and across this nation. So I look forward to continue to stamp out violence in all districts, but especially in my own district, and hope we continue to work together to make this city a better place so we can prosper and bring jobs to our community. Because once there's crime and those statistics goes out, people are not coming here with crime and a poor education. So those two big things we got to work on, and our mayor and our police chief have been doing a good job, but they need help. They cannot afford to have valuable factual information. See violence harboring in our neighborhood. It's black on black crime. Black on black crime. And we have to stop playing the blame game in our neighborhoods and start working together to save lives. And I can't say enough about the support. Last but not least, there'll also be a community meeting in the Lakeside Allendale area, the Good Samaritan Funeral Home at 5:30 after the meeting today. The Allendale Partnership is partnering back up to address property standing, crime, and streets in that area as well. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Hopkins, the terms that are expiring for these people on districts number 5, do these folks, are they going to be reappointed, or are we going to get new names, or what?
It was just to let you know that they're coming up,
right, so
whatever district they are coming from,
they're all from,
letting the commissioner know that that's coming up,
Okay.
and they may want to check with them.
okay, it's all from the same sewer district. Any old business?
Nope.
All right, new business?
New business, authorize the introduction of ordinance number 5214 of 2012 to set the general purpose millages and special purpose millages for millage rate adjustments as allowed by Article 7, Section 23 of the Louisiana Constitution, levying and imposing taxes and assessments for 2012 on all property subject to taxation in the parish of Caddo.
Recommend move for Thursday.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Epson, second by Mr. Dominic. Ms. Lance?
Yes, I have a few questions on these. On the Street Memorial Libraries, are we still? I know there was some discussion a few years ago about whether we would roll forward to the full amount because of the rededication. Where are we at on that? Because I see, okay, this first column is is what you want to.
The first column is what you would be adopting.
Okay, what we'd be adopting. Okay, and the second column is.
That's what you adopted in the past.
Okay.
The 2012 rate is the rate recommended by the assessor, except for the ones that renewed. There's no roll forward millage rate on this. To do a roll forward, you have to have certain advertising requirements, and those advertisements have to be done before July 15th. We don't have any advertising in the newspaper advertising a roll forward, so we're not doing a roll forward for the library.
How long did we say that we were going to roll to the full millage, though, for the library?
Now, Commissioner, when we first did a rededication for the library, we talked about doing a roll forward, but we have not rolled forward since that time. That was back in 2001.
So we haven't, not one time?
Not since 2000, no. Not since 2001. Now, that was something that yeah.
We never took any action on it.
Yeah, that was something we discussed and put in a resolution at that time, but we didn't actually act upon.
Oh, okay. All righty. On the detention facilities, is that all CCC?
That also includes, when you adopt your millages, you have to adopt them with a portion that goes to criminal justice. That's all except including the small portion that goes to criminal justice.
Okay. Same with public works?
Yeah, they're all in, we used to, in the past, we adopted the millage with a separate millage for criminal justice, but the Legislative Author's Office said we cannot do that, that each millage that includes criminal justice, you have to adopt with the criminal justice amount in there.
Okay. And public facilities, what department is that? Is that solid waste?
Public facilities is parks.
It's parks?
Yes. You can use a portion of it for solid waste or public works, but we use the whole amount for parks.
Okay, so from .80 to .81, that's, how much more money would that be? Or is that pretty negligible?
That's negligible.
Okay. Okay, and then Biomed, saying they rededicated a portion of theirs for
Yes,
criminal
ma'am.
justice. Have we ever rolled forward on that one?
We have not rolled forward on that one since 2001.
See what my concern is, Mr. Erica and Mr. Wilson. We are keeping the millage the same, which I know is going to give us the same amount of money that we're currently getting.
Right.
But the reality is our criminal justice costs are increasing. Juvenile, as well as the adult, in particular juvenile. And if you keep getting the same amount of money and your expenses are going up, at what point are we going to really look at the expense side? And while I don't agree with Bobby Jindal's politics, the reality is the state cuts have forced higher ed, the health systems, and some other entities, state agencies, to actually look at what their proper role and mission is, what the proper role of government is, when you don't have an endless amount of money, at your disposal that you can just spend. And the expense side could very well get out of hand. Okay, I mean, I've been here 8 years. I've been on the juvenile committee that entire time. I've chaired the committee at least twice, and while we've made some progress in the area of expenses, it has not had any impact on that side. And at some point, I'm looking at these other entities, and everybody else is having to live within what they're getting in. And that particular department is getting monies from 3 or 4 other funds, and that amount is going to continue to go up if we're taking in the same amount of money. So what I would like to see, just for myself, I guess, is just some modeling. 2 things. One, how much does the current millage take in for juvenile?
We can take it.
About how much? About $2 million?
For juvenile? Yes, ma'am, a little over $2 million.
Okay. And how much are the expenses?
Their expenses are a little over $5 million.
$5 million?
$5 million. In total, that's for everything that's coming out of that fund, the court, the juvenile services, the maintenance of the buildings,
Okay.
the detention facility.
I'd like to see, I guess I'd like to get the figures on how much we put in, had to transfer in over the last 5 years. And I'm very much interested in seeing some modeling that's closer to what the millage brings in. Okay. Or some level of I guess that's what I really want to say.
Now,
Right
Commissioner,
now.
it takes 3 minutes.
We can do that.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Epperson?
Ms. Brown, any correlation with the breakdown in this ordinance with the vote that was held in March? That's the breakdown of what transpired with the citizens.
Yes, that's correct.
The renewal we just had,
Right,
Commissioner?
right.
You are actually adopting rates that are lower than those that you renewed in.
That we voted on?
Yeah, because the expiration date for those millages are 2012 and 2013. At that time, you could elect to actually adopt the millage rate that was in those, or you could continue to adopt these rates that are in this ordinance.
Okay, so what we told the citizens when we were advocating them to vote in favor of those ordinances, it is coming to fruition, right?
Right.
Here, okay. All right, thank you.
I just had one question. Assuming that the assessment of properties will increase, then even having the same millage, you will have an increase in revenue, right?
We would see the increase in revenue from new properties coming on the tax roll, not from properties that were on the tax roll as of 12/31/2011 in total. Now, as far as the individual property, I can't speak to individual, but in total, we would see pretty much, no, it won't be exactly the same because you had some renewals and you have to adopt at that renewal rate. But for the most of these, the amount of revenue will be the same as it was for 12/31/11.
Right,
But for 2012, you will get new properties on the roll that will cause your property taxes to increase.
And that's when the new assessment takes place?
Right. When he does the 2012 assessment, he'll take the reassessment for 2011 and add those amounts for new properties for 2012.
So there should be a slight increase. We'd like for there not to be any increase, but there should be a slight increase in revenue.
There should
If
be.
the same thing happened as happened last time.
There should be, yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. I don't have any other speakers. If Ms. Letcher, are you going to have any questions on the next one? Is this about
Quick one, yes.
The next one?
Uh-huh.
All right. Cast your vote on the first one, please. Move it to Thursday. Passes 11-0.
Authorize introduction of ordinance number 5215 of 2012, setting the parish millage for the purpose of paying principal and interest due in 2012 on outstanding parish bond issues, and instruct the tax assessor to include said millage on the tax roll.
So moved.
Second.
And in Globo 5215, 16, and 17.
Second.
And the quick question I had on 15 was the 1.75 mils on the GO bonds. Is that the same as that what we kind of have? Okay, thank you.
I don't know. Did you hear the question?
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am, that is the same millage rate.
Yes. Okay. All right. Cast your vote, please. That's passed 11-0.
Authorize introduction of ordinance 5218, 2012, to amend the budget of estimate revenues and expenditures for the oil and gas fund at the capital outlay and the capital outlay fund in the amount of $300,000 to provide for appropriation for the construction and improvement of water lines.
1,800. Second. Moved by the chair, second by Mr. Smith. Ms. Lynch?
Yes, I had called to inquire about why we were taking this out of the oil and gas fund. I think I kind of watched that one about like Erica watched the general fund. And and so if you all could give me the benefit of that information again, please.
Commissioner, we are using Public Works money because their sales tax as well as their millage does not allow for the water expenses, and the Riverboat Fund does not have enough funds to pay $300,000. And so we, based on the capital needs, we just felt it more appropriate to come out of the oil and gas fund.
As opposed to the general fund? Don't answer that. I guess
Just felt this was the most appropriate fund for this type of expenditure.
I guess my question is, I know that this is being modeled after the road 60/40 road program.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And as I appreciate it, the majority of this money is going to be paid back pretty quickly. I guess we've just not up until this point had any outstanding loans in this particular fund. And so I don't think, right?
This is the first time.
Yeah, so I mean, we're used to that with Public Works. And I'm just trying to figure, I guess I know there are a couple of others behind this one. So I guess you all are determining that's an appropriate use for this fund?
Commissioner, when you're loaning funds, regardless of the fund, you would have to set up a receivable due from the property owners within that fund that paid the monies. So in essence, the expense, right now you have to appropriate the expense because you're waiting for reimbursement later. But at the time that we do the assessment ordinance, we then will record a receivable for the amount that's due from the property owners. And then that would eliminate actual expense. You understand what I'm saying? You don't actually recognize the expense because you would say of 90% of it, because 90% would be borne by the property owners. But we would set up a receivable in the oil and gas fund at that time when we assess each property owner their share of the expenses.
And you all are comfortable that that's legal to do that out of that fund? That way?
Yes, I'm comfortable because those are undesignated funds as opposed to the public works funds, which are undedicated rather, as opposed to the public works funds that are dedicated by law for specific purposes, which do not include the purpose for which these funds are being used.
Okay. Do we have, I guess, something in the works going forward to deal with this whole water, these type requests? I mean, are we going to, take everyone and use the oil and gas fund, or are there other ways that this can be addressed in the future?
The only other opportunity we have, if you're talking about public works funds, is to do a rededication. The language had to be changed for the voters. And I thought that these cases will be handled individually as will be brought before you, and you all will discuss how you would like to see it funded per our recommendations. I just don't see a lot of these things occurring into the future.
Well, I mean, we got 3. It's, in the last 30 days or 60 days.
I think those 3 have been talked about since last summer, though. But I also don't see any others beyond that. There may possibly be others beyond that, but there's no more discussion other than the 3 we currently have.
Okay. I guess, my concern is just dipping into, because at the end of last year, and I know we've made some changes, we transferred money out of oil and gas for economic development. It was a clean, break. And we were not going to, do anything else with that fund. That was our intention. And so, if it's something that's going to be ongoing or that we really need to put some money somewhere to deal with water issues, whether it's the utility district or what have you, I would really rather have that in a dedicated place, and not, have loans against this, outstanding loans in this fund or continual dipping into it. It's just hard to get a handle on where we are, when you're constantly dipping in and out of it. Okay, so thank you.
Mr. Alferson?
I counsel.
All right. Next, vote to move to Thursday. 11-0.
Authorize introduction of number 5219 of 2012 to amend Chapter 26 of the Code of Ordinances, Caddo Parish, relative to Section 326-182, Schedule A, speed limits to establish a 25-mile-per-hour zone on McDaniel Drive, and to amend Section 26-190, Schedule J, to include McDaniel Drive as a local traffic-only road.
Move it, Thursday.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Johnson, second by Ms. Bowman. Cast your vote, please. It's 11-0.
Authorize resolution number 31 of 2012 to authorize the Caddo Parish Administrator to request and authorize Louisiana State Mineral and Energy Board and the Office of Mineral Resources to accept nominations and advertise for oil and gas mineral leases, accept bids and award and execute oil, gas, and mineral leases on certain mineral interests owned by the Parish of Caddo as requested by Tacoma Energy.
To move. Moved by Mr. Dominic, second by Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith, This is on the agenda today so that Natural Resource Committee, some of you know, is meeting after this meeting, and whatever recommendation they make will come back up on Thursday's agenda for your final approval. So that's why it's on there today without the committee actually approving it, but hopefully we'll approve something this afternoon. Mr. Escudé?
Unless I'm wrong, my understanding is if we move it forward, it just moves to Thursday, and we do nothing Thursday, it lays over for 2 weeks.
Okay, yeah, great.
Okay, well, I've got questions, and unless Chesapeake and Tacoma are going to be at our meeting after a while, I want to ask those questions now, because if they're not adding to my answer to my satisfaction, I'm going to recommend we don't move forward with them.
Well, Chesapeake is coming to the meeting this afternoon.
Okay? So, you want to get it done now?
According to Mr. Grubbs, that's what we need to do because of some time frame. Is that correct, Mr. Grubbs?
Well, I think what your question was, do you want to handle, you want your questions addressed now or at the committee? And that's
We wait till the committee meeting, then this thing's already in the hopper, and we can't discuss it Thursday.
I want to ask mine now.
But I understand. But we could resolve this issue in committee and still kill it Thursday if we're not satisfied.
Right. Absolutely.
Fine, I'm done.
Okay, Mr. Williams?
No, I don't want to be done. I want to talk. No, I don't want to wait on no committee. I want to know, based on reading the ordinance, section where such a lease containment bonus is not less than $1,500 on the lease. Because I know that in the past we had a window of opportunity when oil and gas was booming. It was the economic engine for Caddo and Shreveport citizens, especially in the rural area. I know the intent was to ensure that the citizens all over the district benefited, but the people in District 3 have not benefited yet. The urban area have not benefited. Where like the oil and gas industry bamboozled them. They went out to the rural area and suburb and took care of them, but the other area got left out. Still haven't got their bonus, still waiting. I'm not pointing the finger at no particular energy company, but they still waiting on their bonus and their lease.
Mr. Williams, that may be a discussion that needs to be had, but it's out of order right now.
No, it's not out of order.
Yes, it is.
You don't have to be in committee. No, this is a public meeting. This is the public meeting.
This is not the time to discuss
why
leases weren't taken.
Why is it not time to discuss?
I'm trying to tell you, but
this is a public meeting.
You didn't need that Red Bull today.
Well, I don't want to go in no locker room, smoke room, and talk about nothing. I want to talk about
All I'm saying to you is, I don't think this is the time to deal with why the oil companies chose not to lease within the urban area. Well, that's not going. You're not going to solve any problems on that.
Well, I would just want to.
I mean, as a business, they can lease wherever they want to lease. Yeah. And they chose not to lease in the urban areas because, mainly, I guess, because it's so expensive.
Well, it's not up to you to make that decision, Mr. Chairman. You out of order.
If you're out of order.
No, you out of order, because it ain't up to you to decide
because you got your chair.
Because you got your oil and gas money for your people, my people haven't got theirs.
Challenge the chair.
Well, I'm just saying, you don't tell me I'm out of order, and I'm concerned.
You are out of order. That's part of my job.
Well, part of me tells me you out of order.
No, well, you can challenge the chair, and you can have the full committee.
You're out of order because you're telling me I can't speak for the people in my district that didn't get oil and gas lease, and you did?
Not on this issue unless the full commission says that they don't mind.
Do y'all mind if I talk about my oil and gas?
Vote. Are you asking for a challenge?
Yes, sir.
All right. Challenge the chair on the ruling that he's out of order at this time. Cast your votes.
What are we voting on?
I can't speak about this.
We're voting on,
This is on the book.
if you want to overrule my ruling that he was out of order.
Whether or not it's germane to the subject matter at hand.
Correct. Remain to the subject matter at this time.
Yes means what? No means what?
Yes means that I would be overruled. No means that I'm not overruled.
Okay.
No meaning what?
No means that I'm not overruled. Yes, as I am overruled.
Well, you are overruled.
I got 2, 4, 6, 7 to 4 that I'm not overruled.
You can tell me, urban commissioner voted against this and the people in their district didn't get nothing? Got to be kidding.
No, but just
Go ahead, you're
trying
right.
to deal with that.
Hi, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Albertson?
Okay, now let me make sure where we are. We're on advancing,
Still on Resolution 31.
31. Okay. This is, I mean, this is the reason why it appears to me as though we're putting the cart before the horse. We want to put something on and advance it to Thursday, depending upon a committee meeting that is called relative to this issue. And depending on the outcome, it appears to me as though you should have the committee meeting first, get your recommendation, put it on the agenda, then you have a clear and a definitive means of going forward. I think that's why we have this problem. And this probably been the second or third time that this has occurred. And I just think we shouldn't go forward on something because of speculation. So that's my concern with that. I think we could avoid, and this isn't the first time. You all know that I brought this up. Your committee should meet first with a clear cut and a definitive objection, a vote to either accept, reject, amend, bring to the full body in accordance with on this agenda, and we won't have this. And another thing, I just don't, I have a problem with people that are coming here requesting things of us and putting timetables on us. You know, when we do our first meeting in January, we set our agenda for the entire year. Am I correct? We do that. We deliberately set one meeting in July, in January, because of our plans that we have, things that we have in place, so we can plan ourselves accordingly. And I just think it's unfair that someone would come up with something, unless it's a life and death situation, whereas we have policy to call for a special meeting. And I think if we continue to do this, we're going to continue to have this problem, and I just think it's inherently unfair.
That's good. I agree. We heard somebody call a point of order.
I did, sir. This Resolution 31 came from the committee with an approval. From Tacoma, it came from committee with an approval. It's 32 that I think has not got approval out of committee.
Okay. So okay, A has the approval.
That's correct. Resolution 31.
Okay. Will you finish, Mr. Joseph?
No, since I got that point of information. Okay, well, are there minutes included in today? Because we should have some minutes or something, and then if we had gotten it in advance, then this is still a situation which should not have occurred.
I'll get a chance to speak on it. That's all right. Let it go. Let me have my say.
That's all I have.
So don't worry about it.
Todd brought forth what I was going to say. I knew this particular one had come out with a definite recommendation, so, we had gotten a report under the committee reports. We probably could have avoided this whole conversation.
Mr. Dominic?
Todd, could you get a copy of those minutes for next meeting?
Yes, sir.
And, they did, the Natural Resource Committee, I'm sure it's what Mr. Smith is going to tell you, there was a meeting to be held last Wednesday?
Last Wednesday.
Mm-hmm. And for some unfortunate circumstances, we couldn't get a quorum. We did get a quorum. Oh, you did get a quorum?
We had a quorum.
So, okay, so this is the one.
Yours is okay.
Okay.
Yours is okay.
And Mr. Smith?
Well, as all of you know, this was not exactly planned exactly this way. There's no hidden agenda. There's no pay-to-play, so-called. I think this came, and I don't want to put it on Mr. Grubbs, but this was the way to do it to get at least, I guess, at the soonest point. And am I saying that correctly, Mr. Grubbs?
Yes, sir. There were some questions raised at the committee meeting regarding what's appropriate for the minimum acceptable bid. And because we advertise these, we let these leases through the state mineral board, and there's very long advertising requirements. In discussions that we had in the second case involving Chesapeake Energy, there was a realization that if it did not get on this, if the matter was not addressed at Thursday's meeting of the commission, and it had to wait till next month, that in effect would result, I believe, in a 2-month delay, if I remember correctly, on getting it before the state mineral board. And the applicant asked if there was any way that the committee could address this in time for the commission to make a decision at the Thursday meeting, because the delay, and I'm not going to speak for Chesapeake, but that's what they asked us to do. So they are prepared, as I understand it, today in committee to address the issues particularly raised by Commissioner one of y'all during the committee meeting regarding certain issues pertaining to the appropriateness of the minimum rate that they're asking for. So this whole thing was, I agree with the comments that have been made by Commissioner Epperson and others that this is, you can argue it's the cart before the horse, but it was not done accidentally. It was done on purpose to meet the issue raised by the applicant in this, that in effect this was not done in such a time crunch that they might not be able to do the deal, even if the commission was to find that it's in the parish's best interest to do it.
If I remember, when we voted on Tacoma, we voted for Tacoma because they offered our minimum bid. Right. They already met our qualifications, but Chesapeake had not. So that's the reason one is coming and the other one didn't. Mr. Lynn?
Never mind, Mr. President, it's no longer relevant to the subject.
All right, Mr. Ellison?
You probably might get a point of information and then reserve the right. Okay, all right. Resolution number 31, I wouldn't have any problem with advancing that to Thursday since it has been cleared. And at this time, if that's the clear case there, I would like to call for the question on resolution number 31.
All right, we have no other speakers, so we can go ahead and vote on 31. Cash vote, please. Passes 11-0.
Okay, authorize resolution 32, 2012, authorize clarification administrative request and authorize Louisiana State Mineral and Energy Board and the Office of Mineral Resources to accept nominations, advertisers for oil and gas and mineral leases, accept bids and award, execute gas and mineral leases on certain mineral interests owned by the Parish of Caddo as requested by Chesapeake Energy.
Move to Thursday.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Smith, second by Mr. Escabay. Ms. Lynch?
I just have a quick question. Is I guess the whole question when I left was what amount was Chesapeake willing to lease this property at, and I'd like to know what that is.
Whoever would like to speak to that?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Paul Pratt, Chesapeake Energy Corporation. We're asking for two things in today's meeting or on Thursday. Number one, for you guys to submit acreage that you own in section 34 and 35. And number two is to not submit a minimum bid for those acreage. We're not saying for you guys to pick a bid, or we're not saying, we're not trying to pick one for you. Based on the history of what's been happening at the Mineral Board, there has been no bids in the city of Bossier or Bossier Parish, and so in order to make this more attractive and to keep jobs here in northwest Louisiana, we're asking you guys to consider no bid to the Mineral Board.
Thank you.
Any more questions?
Mr. Escudero?
Okay, these are issues that I imagine we'll cover in the all natural resources meeting after the fact. Due to the fact this is our only meeting this month, then I understand why even this is kind of strange that we have this in the process. But I suspect that, as Mr. Grubb said and Mr. Epperson, that we may have the cart before the horse. By the time it's over with, we'll have amended the cart before the horse crosses the finish line and have something that's in the best interest of the people. So I plan on voting to move it forward. Thank you.
Mr. Williams?
I don't think this is in the best interest of the people. I'll be voting no to move it forward or leave it forward because of the comments I made earlier. We have not had in my district and other urban districts, all the urban districts have not benefited from the windfall of the economic engine from the oil and gas industry. All it has been is the outskirts, the rural and the suburban areas. We had all those meetings and people were getting their hopes up. All these meetings, and still to this day, they have not received any mineral rights, bids or lease for all those empty promises. Till to this day, don't have anything. I think that is wrong to come to those districts with all those poor people, them senior citizens, all these church folk, thinking they're going to get a lease signed, and still they don't have it yet. The bamboozle of those people is wrong. How can any commission sit up there and vote for these mineral rights and they people ain't benefited from it yet? Something is wrong. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Ms. Lynch?
Thank you, Ms. Pratt. So really nothing has changed from the meeting. Chesapeake is coming back saying we still want to do a no minimum bid, which is what's currently in the resolution. And this is not my district. I think this is Lindora's district, right?
Yes, it is.
People made.
And I know we talk a lot about, some people talk a lot about letting the market decide, let the market decide. True capitalism is about letting the market decide. And so, I don't personally have a problem with a no minimum bid in this particular case. As we said, we could look at these case by case. Bottom line, I'm going to go with the recommendation of the commissioner of the district, whatever that is. Thank you.
Ms. Bowden?
Yes, sir. Just for the record, when District 5 and District G had meetings in reference to oil and gas, people got greedy and bumped it up to astronomical amount, and then that was the letdown for the citizens in that area. I attended the meeting, so I know. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Baker.
I just had one question for Charles. Did you ever find out if we had an option to reject those bids if we did decide to do the no minimum?
We do, Commissioner. The procedure would be that a representative of the Commission would have to attend the bid opening down at Baton Rouge, and the Mineral Board in executive session following the award of the opening of the bid would permit the representative of the Commission to make a recommendation on whether the bid was to be accepted or not. And my information is that the recommendation would in all probability be accepted by the board.
Thank you.
What date is that?
If it's adopted if y'all adopt the resolution on Thursday, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but the bids would be opened at the Mineral Board's monthly meeting held in the month of October. I don't have the exact date, but it'll be in October.
Thank you. Mr. Grove, if we were to pull this, could it be added Thursday under agenda additions? And if we did, Thursday. If we did add it under on that Thursday, would the same time limit be? It still have to sit over 2 weeks, or would it have to sit over longer than that?
This resolution does not have to delay over 2 weeks. This resolution will be finally addressed Thursdays unless the commission postpones it. And of course, for you to add it, if you take it off the agenda for Thursday today to put it back on the agenda, you can do that. It just requires a unanimous vote.
To that,
It would require unanimous vote.
unanimous vote. Well, that's not going to happen. Okay. All right. And cast your vote, please.
Thursday.
10-1.
Authorized resolution recognition for Bishop Brasby G. Mason II.
Second. Thank you. Oh, I want to, can I
Moved by Ms. Baker, second by
Ms. Bowles.
Ms. Lynch. Ms. Lynch.
I just need to make a correction, if I could, if I may. That is not appointed to Temple of Deliverance, is appointed to the Episcopal Candidacy Program of the Full Gospel Baptist Fellowship International School of...
You'll be correct for Thursday.
Okay, you're correct.
You can get all that on one center.
Cast vote. Passes 11-0.
Authorized resolution of recognition for Miss Antoinette Louise Van, 2012 National American Miss Louisiana.
Move for Thursday. Second. Moved by Mr. Ellison, second by Mr. Williams. Cast your vote, please. Passes 11-0.
Authorized family resources for empowerment and education School of Greatness program as a visitor for Thursday.
Move. Second.
Moved by Mr. Lynch, second by Ms. Baker. Cast your vote, please.
Authorized Miss Lena Livingston with Biz Camp as a visitor for Thursday.
Second. Moved by Mr. Lynch, second by Mr. Johnson. Cast your vote, please. It's 11-0.
Authorized updated non-governmental organizations appropriations application as recommended by the CBO-NGO Appropriation Committee.
Move to Thursday. Second.
Moved by Mr. Lynn, second by Mr. Escabay. Mr. Lynn?
I just wanted to say before we voted that not only did the NGO committee vote to move this forward unanimously, that several other people outside the committee attended the meeting. Everybody was heard, and we went through line item to line item and voted on altering or changing or leaving the same every single issue. And so everybody on the entire board was invited into the process, and it did move forward positively. Anyway, thank you for your support.
Mr. Williams?
Mr. Chairman, with all due respect to change and innovation and this 14-page document, how many pages is it?
I think it's only, Erica, how many pages is it now? It's really short.
No, it's like 6 pages.
6 pages.
Back when I was on the commission years ago, we had 2 pages. We haven't had a problem, we didn't have a problem back then. But all of a sudden we have a problem now just to change the application process, which is so much bureaucracy in it that people sometimes are subjected not to even submit some with all that paperwork. 2 good clean sheets of paper, people doing something inappropriate with the funds. You have state auditors that go into all the non-profit organization. Why do we need to have all these sheets of paper tiger, to put all them people, all that due process in that time? 2 sheets work all them years. Why won't it work now? Why won't it work now? Why is the big rush to change the process to 2 sheets of paper to 6 or 7? You tell me why. Give me an explanation. I want to know.
Mr. Will, I think he was asking you that question, is that correct?
Oh, I didn't know we were supposed to direct questions. I'm saying, I was going to ask Mr., it's my turn to talk, I was going to ask Mr. Wilson. Based on a recent audit that we had on, as far as just tightening things up a little bit and just being responsible for the taxpayer.
We responsible for 2 sheets of paper. We had no problem with 2 sheets. So what make you think 6 or 7 sheets gonna make a change in the difference? We haven't had a problem in the past with 2 pieces of paper. Have we up here? been transparent, we've been open, we've been responsible to the taxpayers of that money. We've been doing a good job. That's why we vote for tax renewal, because we are good gatekeepers of the taxpayers' money. You mean tell me 7 pay gonna make us less or more, and 2 people work? Why change for the sake of change? If it ain't fixed, if it ain't broken, it don't need fixing. Just bureaucracy and red tape, it don't need all that. Keep it like it is. 2 sheets of paper is all we need. It works, don't need to change.
Ms. Lynch?
I need to get a copy of the revised. Y'all may have sent it to me. It seems like I've seen it. Y'all were gonna work on the language, I think you and Donna.
You guys don't have the form then?
They emailed me a copy.
We'll give it to you again, man.
Yes, ma'am, we'll get it to you if you don't have it.
Okay. We need to get a copy, ma'am. Thank
Mr. Lynn, are you still on?
I'm finished, thank you.
Dash your vote, please. And that passes 9-2.
You're from the old school, Ken.
Authorize appointment of Mr. Donald Ray Major to fill Ward 5 constable position left vacant by the resignation of David Anderson, effective immediately.
Recommend moving forward to Thursday.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Epperson, second by Ms. Bowman. Cast your vote, please.
He said second, and he calls it Ms. Bowman, that's the second time.
11-0.
Authorize reappointment of Mr. Earl G. Williamson to the North Caddo Hospital District Board. Term expires July 18, 2012.
Move to Thursday. Second. Moved by Mr. Dominic, second by Mr. Smith. Cast your vote, please.
Consent agenda.
Adjourned. We are adjourned.
Talking about